Welcome to Love and Tears. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and click the little bell so you don't miss out on the heartbreaking and secret love stories we share every week. It's just a small act, but it's your support that motivates us to continue bringing you the most honest confessions. Today I'm going to tell you a story, a confession that made my heart tremble when I heard it. A woman who believed she would never cheat ended up in a relationship she didn't expect. My name is Isabel. I'm 34 years old. Honestly, I never believed I could cheat. I used to despise people who cheated. I thought they were weak, selfish, promiscuous. But me, I'm different. I believe I have discipline, ethics, courage. I believe I will never lose that boundary. But I was wrong. My husband and I, Danielle, married for 9 years. We have a 6-year-old son, Ethan, who is the greatest joy of my life. The small house with the garden where Ethan plays once made me think I had it all: family, stability, peace. Danielle is a good husband, working hard as an electrician. As for me, I work in marketing at a mid-sized company. From the outside, we have a neat, stable life. Bills are paid, children are taken care of, everything seems to be standard. But deep inside, something has been cracked for a long time. Daniel comes home after a tiring shift. He takes a shower, has dinner, helps his son study, then collapses on the sofa in front of the TV. Each day passes like a loop. I take care of the meals, bills, Ethan's school schedule, activities. We operate like business partners, coordinating smoothly but dryly. What has been lost is the connection, the look, the touch of the day-old. Sex. A couple of times a month, but only as an obligation. I started to feel like I was disappearing. No one saw me as a woman anymore, just a mother, a shadow. Have you ever felt like that? When even you yourself forget who you used to be. Everything changed the day my company hired a new marketing director, Adrian. He was 36, recently divorced, moving from Chicago to start over after a failed marriage. On the first day, I was giving a presentation when Adrian suddenly spoke up. Not to criticize, but to express interest in my idea. That's great. Can you elaborate on the psychology behind that strategy? Great. From then on, I forgot how long I had heard it. At home, I was just a wife, a mother, a bill taker. But wonderful. That word was like a breath of fresh air blowing into my withered soul. I blushed and Adrian saw it. From that moment, everything began to change. He often stopped by my office at first to discuss work. But then gradually, the conversation drifted away from work, about the city, about books, about trivial views on life. And when he looked at me, that look was penetrating, as if I were the only one in the room. How long had it been since I had been listened to in that way? The first contact was accidental. One day, when I bent over my desk, he put his hand on my back to keep me balanced. Just a few seconds, but it felt like an electric current had run through me. That night, while Daniel watched football, I folded the clothes, my mind, only thinking about my hand, that warmth. And from that moment, I was no longer me. The messages started to appear. At first, they were just work. Then, they were confessions. He talked about the loneliness of long nights alone, about the sadness of a broken marriage. And I talked about the invisibility in my own home. One evening, when I was folding towels in my room, he texted Isabel, "You are a wonderful woman, Danielle is so lucky. I hope he knows that. I burst into tears because I knew Daniel didn't think of me that way anymore. Then one evening after the office had all gone home, we sat down to finish our presentation. The yellow lights of the conference room were dim and the simple dinner in plastic containers made us laugh. For the first time in months, I found myself actually laughing. When I looked up, Adrian was staring at my lips. "Isabel," he whispered. The first kiss landed, soft, hesitant, as if to give me a chance to retreat. But I didn't. And in that moment, I melted. "We can't," I whispered. "I know," he replied, but still didn't leave. Do you think I should have stopped right then, after that kiss? Nothing was the same. Every glance, every light touch under the conference table, every midnight text message, everything was like an invisible string pulling us closer. And then one night, when the office was quiet, we crossed the line. I trembled in his arms, both yearning and afraid. "This will change everything," I whispered. "No need. We'll find a way," Adrian reassured. And so, I entered a double life. At home, I was a wife, a mother. At work, I was a different Isabel, fresh, radiant, full of life. Even Danielle noticed. "You look happier these days." I smiled awkwardly, feeling like a knife was cutting my heart. We found every moment to be together in the car during lunch breaks, on business trips, even in the empty stairwell. Every time we touched, the fire flared up. But at the same time, the guilt grew. Daniel was not a bad man. He was just tired, caught up in the cycle of responsibilities. One night, he suddenly suggested, "Let's go out for dinner, just the two of us." It's been a long time since we've done that. My heart sank. I nodded. We sat in the familiar Italian restaurant he held. My hand told old stories. I smiled, I replied, but deep down, my heart was not there. Have you ever tried to find something old but realized you had lost it long ago? Reality hit on a Sunday morning. Ethan playing soccer, Danielle coaching on the sidelines, faces beaming when his son scored. I looked at the scene, small family, simple happiness, and a fear came over me. If this secret was revealed, everything would collapse. Ethan's smile, Daniel's pride. Was it worth trading for just a hug, a look, another man? That night, I went to see Adrian for the last time. The apartment was quiet. I said, I can't go on. Tears streamed down. He squeezed my hand. Don't say that. We're good. I choked, I know. But I can't live two lives. My son deserves more. Even Daniel deserves more. I pulled my hand back, whispering, I have to choose my family. We broke up. No promises, no turning back. Just a silent pain. Ending the affair didn't erase the guilt. I still wake up to Daniel in my sleep, wondering what he would do if he knew. But I started to change. I paid more attention to our marriage, spent time with Danielle, with Ethan. I learned to talk about the emptiness instead of being silent. It wasn't perfect, but at least it was real. And I realized one thing. Betrayal doesn't always come from malice. Sometimes it comes from loneliness, from the desire to be seen, to be touched, to be loved. But the consequences are always real, always painful. I almost lost everything. And while a part of my heart will always remember Adrian, I know I stopped before it was too late. And that's Isabel's story. What do you think? Was she right to choose her family, or should she have followed her heart? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you find this story touching your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Love and Tears. We will be back with more confessions, full of longing tears and secrets. See you in the next stories.